So you've hit like four figures, like days and stuff like that. What did it feel like when you're like, oh, I can just actually make this much from my phone?
I was getting on a flight and I was like, you need to make the four figures. And then I see, and I was like, 24 hours, 1,000. And I would be teaching my clients, and then I'd look £49. I'd look £450. So to see that I was making the same amount in a month, in one day or 1 minute was insane. BOA, 1,000%. I like 1,000%. I'd say BOA, being someone's employee, never resonated with me, and I knew that if I wanted to achieve that, I had to take action now.
Not everyone that buys the program makes 1K days. Like, you've done really well, so why have you done well?
The only reasons I got to how far I did was through the calls with you. Therefore, BOA is the answer. I'm so grateful that I'm part of a community that actually care.
Okay. Hello everybody, I am actually on the call today with one of my mentees. In fact, I'll let her introduce herself. What's your name? Who are you? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, my name's Eva, and I started with Cheryl. It was the 25th of December.
No, it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, it was Christmas Eve.
2024.
2024, so it's been over a year now, and yeah.
Yeah. Eva, give us a background. So before you started this, like, what did you do? What were you doing? Who are you? A bit more about what you do.
So basically, before I started, I was just teaching languages online because I needed to make extra money in uni. But I always found myself trying to search for different side hustles and quick money schemes. And then that led me to sadly getting scammed once before I started doing this. And then I didn't really trust any of these people online anymore until I saw Cheryl. And then I came across Cheryl's video. It was around Christmas time. Yeah, it literally took me 2 days to speak to you. So it was around Christmas time. She spoke to me. She told me her story, basically won me over. And then I started with her. Obviously, when I started, I was still a bit scared because I was like, damn, I really have invested some of my savings into this. Is this going to work? Is this not? And it did. I made good money from it. So I was really, really happy. But it was obviously through mentorship, through learning, and through actually applying. It wasn't just a get rich quick scheme. It was, you have to actually put in the work. But if you're willing to, then you're going to reap the benefits. And that's what happened to me, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, your story always encourages me, because for you to go through that and then trust again is not easy, but
Yeah.
luckily it paid off this time, so that's good.
God.
In fact, talk to us about that. Like, what kind of things, or what kind of things did you look to, or how do I word it? It's like, how did you know it was different? Like, what made this so different to any other thing you've seen online before?
Yeah.
And also, what went through your mind when you like finally invested in mentorship? Why did you pay for something like this? But you've never met me before, so what made you do that?
True. I feel like it was just because I was talking to someone that I resonated with, and
Yeah.
someone that looked like me. And it always falls down to that. People that look like you really do tend to gravitate more to them. And I feel like the people that I was seeing before felt so out of reach of who I was. And it literally was just me talking to another girl younger than me who was being successful. And I was like, damn, like, I've always felt that ish in my heart where I'm going to be successful. So if I'm seeing someone else do it that looks like me, is younger than me, and is as ambitious as I believe I am, then why wouldn't I not be able to do it, you know? So I think it was just talking to a real human, hearing that you're not trying to be perfect and you just literally being honest is what
Yeah.
drew me to you for sure. Because the time that I got scammed, it was really like, yeah, like I'm promising you this, that. You never promised me anything once. And that's what I like.
It's gonna be hard.
See, exactly. I think that's the first thing you said to me. You were like, it's gonna be hard work. And I was like, period. Because the last time it was like, in a month you're gonna make this amount of money. It's like, you're lying. Because now I can sense a lie. But when you were just honest with me and real, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So okay, we kind of got like your bit of your before. Give us like, if in summary, why did you start this business? I know you said you were looking for side hustles, quick stuff. Why are you even doing that? What is your reason for why?
It's because I love freedom, and I've had one experience working a 9 to 5, and obviously I'm not bashing people that work 9 to 5s, but I just know it's not for me. And I've never, like, before I didn't know really what it was, but it was obviously a calling telling me that I'm meant for more. And
Okay.
9 to 5s just never resonated with me. Like, being someone's employee never resonated with me. And I knew that if I wanted to achieve that, I had to take action now. And there was no point waiting until I graduated or waiting until the perfect time to do it. I had the funds to do it. And I was like, let me just go. Because if this doesn't work, then I'll forget about it and I'll be like, okay, cool. Maybe I'm just
I
delusional.
tried.
But this was literally my last shot, and I was gonna give up. Do you remember when I was gonna give up? I think it was
Yeah,
February.
yeah.
I was like, I'm done this again. But then, yeah, it paid off. It really did pay off. So,
I never. You're just making me actually deep this. So you was actually going to stop, and if
yeah,
you stopped that day, you would have never hit four figures. Like you wouldn't have.
no,
That's wild. You
that's
see.
crazy.
In fact, I mean, I don't know. You can kind of. I can cut this out if the recording if you want to, but kind of talk to me because I remember when you started, or I don't know what you, but it was like when you started. But I know you like started your journey to Christ and stuff. How has that like helped you? How did that come about? Is this just like boom?
Wow,
Or, like what's that
wow,
like?
that's so real. I feel like I just feel more grounded now. I feel like I have, I'm not greedy anymore. I think I have been a greedy person, and I think that I did want it solely based on me winning. And I think now that I came to God, believe in God, I genuinely I resonate more with the things you used to say to me, like you need to serve before you receive. And I remember when you first said it to me, I was like, no, like
Ew.
why am I serving like it's about me? It was very selfish. And I think when I actually just sat down and I was like, okay, cool, what am I doing? Who am I doing this for? Who actually am I? Then coming to Christ, it was like, okay, everything makes sense now. I feel like I have more of a purpose. I feel like I'm actually giving value for the right reasons, because there was a time where I was just giving value to get something out of it. Now I enjoy giving value because I feel like I'm just doing something good. And if anything comes from it, perfecto. If not, I'm giving value. But yeah, I think that really just changed my mindset. I used to think I had a good mindset, and I realized that I didn't. And it was
Fair.
solely based on that.
That's fair. Wow. I didn't even know all that. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Okay, so someone might be watching this thinking, okay, cool, like you seem really ambitious and whatever. Is there someone that this is not for? Like, is there a type of person you'd warn and say, don't do this? Or do you think it's for everyone? What do you think?
No, it's not for everyone. I've spoken to too many people that
You
I'm
know, the person before said it is for everyone. So let me hear your
No,
take. Go on.
I don't think it's for everyone, because my personal opinion is that people don't want to work. I actually made a video about it just now. People don't like working. People want quick fixes. People think that just because they paid for something, they instantly deserve to get it back. And it's not like that. Actually, no, the first decision is your step in. Then actually paying is the second, but you need to put in the work. Like you can't just think, okay, I have the course or I have the academy, whatever, and then I'm just meant to get the money. No, 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 no. You need to work. You need to work. Y ya está. And if you're not willing to work, then that's fine. But yeah, I don't think it's for everyone at all. Mm-mm.
Okay, sure, Eva. Thank you. That's nice. No, I'd agree with you because I do think it is a bit discouraging. People think you only have to invest one thing, which is money, but you also have to invest time. So if you can invest the money and not the time, don't do it. If you can
Yeah,
invest the time and not the money, you can't do it. So it's like
yeah,
it comes together. So
yeah.
time and money, they're literally linked like this. Okay,
That was,
cool. What was your biggest doubt before joining?
I
Talk
don't
to
know.
us. Be real. Or did you not have any? That's fair if you didn't.
I just think my doubt, I don't know if I had a doubt.
Oh,
It's like, no, I don't know how to explain this. Like, I think doubt was like people around me, if that makes any sense.
nothing to do with you.
Yeah, because I don't want to be like big upping myself, but I know the things I can do. I think the doubt is in my procrastination and my laziness. So
Fair.
it doesn't come to doubt, it just comes to timing. And I think when I'm lazy, it's because maybe I'm not ready for it, but I know that I could get there if I really wanted to. So maybe it's just like a personal attack. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't have doubt in myself. I just sometimes get worried about what people think. That's something obviously we all need to work on. But no, I don't really have doubt.
Oh, that's fair. I like that. That's fair. Okay, so let's get a bit more into the journey and your process. So talk
Mhm.
us through like when did you get your first sale? How did you feel when you got your first sale? Like what was that like? And yeah, talk to us.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my first sale, I remember the day. It was the 9th of January,
You're
2025.
actually very good with your dates and stuff. Wow.
Yeah, I remember that. Like it was because I remember I had a really hard exam that day and I got back home and I opened my iPad and I was like, wait, okay. And I see standstill and I see the sale notification and I screamed. I remember I was in my room. I screamed, Tarra. But then I didn't make any money
For
for
weeks.
for
Oh,
for
months.
and I was like running with the same thing. I made my first sale in 2 weeks. Da, 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 da. But when that got tired, I was like, what do I do? And that's when I was going to give up because I didn't know what else to say. Because genuinely, my sale didn't come from a real lead. I think it was just someone that bought from me. So I didn't
Yeah.
have proof as to what I did to get there. So I didn't know what I was doing right. And
Yeah.
then that's when I fell back and I was like, okay, let me rethink how I'm approaching this. Then I started giving value, researching other techniques. I was just going crazy at learning how to make this work.
Really quickly, I'm so sorry. With your
So,
marketing, like, did you start from zero? Did you have existing followers? What was it like with your marketing pages and stuff like that?
so I didn't have many followers at all, and I didn't have any engaging followers for a really, really long time.
You started 2 pages, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes.
You
Yes.
even forgotten that.
I
This is not your
forgot.
first page.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you for reminding me. I had my first sit page got me my first sale, and it was a raggedy page. I remember I was like, oof. But then when I took a step back, I was like, let me rethink all of this. Let me
Was
actually.
it Earn with Eva?
Was it with Eva? Was I think
Earn?
with Eva maybe? Oh my gosh, yeah, it was with Eva.
That's so
Damn,
good.
how cute. But yeah, it was that, and then I started rebranding. Applying what Boa says, branding, whatever. I started doing that, started giving value, and then that's when I made consistent money. And from then, I made consistent money on that page. So I knew what I was doing was working. First,
And how did you feel?
it felt bomb. And it felt like, okay, now I actually feel confident enough to teach other people or even guide other people because before I wouldn't have been confident. If someone bought from me and was like, okay, cool, am I getting your mentorship? I'm like, I don't think I can. But after making consistent sales, I was like, okay, cool, I think I know what to do now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And for like when you hit like even so you've hit like four figures like days and stuff like that. What was
See,
that like? And because obviously you said you used to work 9 to 5. Like, what did it feel like when you're like, oh, I can just actually make this much from my phone? Like, what did that feel like? And talk us through some of your like stats, if that makes sense.
it was crazy because it was during May when I made my first like full figure day. I remember
In a day.
in a day, which was insane. I was getting on a flight and I was like, you need to make the four figures. And then I see and I was like, 24 hours, 1,014, something like that. I don't know. And I was like, wow, I can do this. And then from then on, I think for a good 2 months, every day I was making a sale. So I was still teaching and I would be teaching my clients and then I'd look £49. I'd look £450. So it was very
Thing
consistent.
up.
Yeah, it was crazy because I'm out here working for maybe £10 and then I'm seeing and I'm making £400 from my phone. So it was very like contrasting because I didn't quit my job or quit what I was doing to pursue this. I was doing it at the same time. So to see that I was making the same amount in a month in one day or 1 minute was insane. It was actually insane to me.
Yeah, and I like how you said you didn't quit your job because you low-key don't need to. I feel like, okay, in fact, talk to us about that, building it alongside. Like, how does that work, and do you recommend it? Yeah, what do you think? Like, building it alongside something, does it have to take over? Does it have to be your sole thing? Like, what do you think?
Nah, I thrive off of being busy. So for me, it was very compatible because I like what I do. I teach and I love it. So it was never something that I actually looked to stop. Even if I got in a corporate job, I was never going to stop teaching because
When you say teaching, you mean like tutoring kids, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
tutoring kids, tutoring adults. So I do that. And then this was just like extra money that I wanted to make. And I think it's very compatible if you know how to manage your time.
Yeah.
If you know how to manage your time. If you don't, good luck. But yeah, I think anyone can like learn how to do this. But if you like what you're doing, then this will just be an extra thing that you love doing. If you like creating, it will be fun. And for me, it was a hobby that made me money. Lit-
Yeah. Oh, I love that. A hobby that made you money.
See, yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So that's your process. And what's one of the hardest things you've gone through since starting this business? What's the hardest thing you've gone through?
Definitely the seasons.
Mm.
that change. There's moments where I was making a lot of money, and then maybe like a month where I was like, oh, like I made one sale, and it's really it can be discouraging because you're maybe doing the same thing, you're remixing, you're still learning, you're applying, and it's like, why isn't it working? So I think it's just once you find the answer, I'd say, or the solution, then it's light work. But I think there's going to be seasons in, being self-employed where it's going to be less than when you made a lot. And it's just knowing how to cope with that and not getting discouraged and not giving up, to be
Yeah, and no, that's very true. And I was just speaking to someone the other day, and I realized like if you want predictable income, don't start a business. If you want to know when you're gonna get paid, you have to get a job because they can't not pay you.
serious.
As for business, like
Yeah.
this month, I've had such a low month this month, but it's like, what can I do? Like this is what I have. I have to just keep on going. I have
Yeah,
to keep on
yeah,
grinding. Like no one's gonna pay me. I have to make my own. I have to do it. So
yeah.
yeah, if you want something predictable, don't do business.
That's
But
so
if
real.
you're willing to risk, and maybe some months you're gonna get £10. Some months you're gonna get 100. Like you just don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. Almost done. Just two more questions. So,
Perfecto.
what strategy would you say has helped the most? Because remember, this is to help. Yeah, well, I don't know what I say, but this is to help other people. Like other people are looking. Okay, Eva's done well. So Eva, like if someone says, why have you done so well? Why? Because not everyone that buys the program makes 1K days. Like you've done really well. So why have you done well? Talk us through why.
Boa, 1,000%. I like 1,000%. I'd say Boa is the only
Really?
1,000% because I started with a different strategy and it didn't do what it needed to do. Like genuinely, the only reasons I got to how far I did was through the calls with you. And obviously you've translated whatever you taught me in Boa. Therefore, Boa is the answer because after joining Boa, I wasn't promoting the other things. It was always leading with Boa. Obviously, if you want to get the other things, by all means, I'm not going to complain. But if you want a strategy that is actually going to work with people that will actually try to help you, because right now, for example, with my branding page, Shania is really on it with me, and I'm so grateful that I'm part of a community that actually care. Like it's not just like,
Wow.
damn, here you go, enter, bim bam boom. No, like it's like, ask me the questions. I'm gonna help you with this strategy. Let's do this. Are you not happy? What can we do for you? It's constantly help. And obviously you're really busy, but you're still on it. You're still trying
Yeah.
to help. So yeah, that's what I have to say.
That's fair. That I didn't even expect. I meant the question was like, what did you do differently? Like, what did you do differently? But
Boa.
fair. That's fair. Okay, cool. No, no, I appreciate that. That's actually opened my eyes a lot, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, I think that's great. What is something you couldn't do before that you now can do? Like, what has this business actually done for your life? Because Eva, you did say like, I mean, you're teaching, you're busy. I know you did law, like, and obviously you've got like family and stuff. So just what has this done for you, or has it done anything for you?
I think that even if I made £0 from this, it's opened my brain to know that through social media, I can do so much. For example, I teach now, and I was like, okay, I want to grow my clientele. I don't think if it weren't for starting something like this, I would reach out to other social media platforms to learn how to make money. And now I've made quite a bit through Facebook. And I think it's just giving me the chip to kind of like seek through social media different forms of income. And now it's opened my eyes to, okay, it's not just about the make money online situation. I've done that and it was really fun, but I think it just made me want to grow in different aspects. And
Yeah.
if it weren't through that, I think I would still be teaching one-to-ones, but now I'm trying to, expand my business even more. And it's exciting to do it through social media. So definitely just like opening my brain to social media even more because I never used to see social media as a thing other than posting dumb videos for my
Have
friends.
fun, yeah, like you just laugh.
Exactly.
No, you're actually very inspiring. And I love that. I think you learn lots of transferable skills because it
Mm,
might not even be what I'm saying. You see how, let's say like the Bow Academy, right? You might obviously I teach, how to set up your store and you might not even do anything I said, but you might just look at what I did and learn from what I did instead of doing what I said, if that makes sense. So there's so many different ways to learn. You don't have to do, you can do whatever you want, if that makes sense.
exactly.
Yeah. but it's like understanding and those transferable skills. So I love that. I love that. Okay, I'm wrapping up now. Did you ever feel like quitting? Well, you did say that, but talk us through why you didn't quit. What was the thing? Because I'm sure people are watching thinking, okay, Eva, I've actually been doing this for months. It's not working for me. So when you was at that point, what stopped you from quitting, and why shouldn't they quit, or should they quit? What do you think?
I think it's just I would be doing myself such a disservice if I didn't give it my all. And I think the only reason I didn't quit is because I knew I wasn't giving it my all. Like if
Okay.
I came to a point where I was like, okay, actually I've done everything. I've tried, I've done this, and it's still not working. Adios.
Yeah.
Goodbye. But I knew that I wasn't doing everything I could, and that's why I didn't quit. You know, like I took a step back to rethink what I was gonna do, but quitting was never an option because
Yeah.
I wasn't doing enough to
That's fair.
allow myself to quit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. And I do believe that like every sweat you put to something or everything you put into something, it has to come out.
Mm,
Not because you of anything, but it's just principle of life. Whatever you put in comes out. Like that's just
yeah,
how life works. You can't, there's no two ways about it. So I believe in that too. Like when you give it your all, it's almost like there's no way. There's actually no, if you actually give it your all, there's no way you can't be successful, even if
ex-
it's not in what you think you're gonna do. If you give it your
exactly.
all, you'll be successful. So I like that. I like that.
Mm.
What month did you realize that this was scalable? Like, at what point did you realize, okay, yeah, this is big. Like, I could live of this. Like, when did you get to that point where you
May
realized May when you had
May
the 1K day?
2025. Yeah, because it was during my exams. Like the question you asked me before, is this compatible with life? Yes. I was doing my finals in law school, fourth year. I made 1K in one day. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, yes, it's very much scalable. Yes, you can make it very compatible with your life if you want to. The actual thing is if you want to.
If you want to. If you
See,
want to. Okay, cool. I'm learning from you. If you want to. Got it. Mentorship. Like, what do you think of mentorship? Could you do it from YouTube videos? Like, do you actually need a mentor? And don't give like a textbook answer. Just be honest. Like, do you actually need the mentor? Could you probably do it for YouTube? What do you think?
I'll say it with a real life example. No, because I don't think people can learn languages without a teacher, without a tutor. So I would never tell people, yeah, you're going to learn French off of Duolingo because that's only a part of what you're going to learn. They're not personalized to you. If you're off YouTube, it's talking generally. If you have a mentor, they get to know you, they know exactly what you need, and they can give that to you. Yasta.
Okay, if someone's watching this and thinking this won't work for me, what would you say to them?
Have faith in yourself.
Have
Believe
faith.
in yourself. And
Okay.
actually bet on yourself. You're worth more than you think. Don't doubt
Okay.
yourself. That's what I would
Yeah.
say.
Okay, then my final question, Eva, we've heard about your successes, we've heard about, mentorship helped you, Boa 1,000% and everything
Mm.
you've spoken about, but what is next for you? Like, what is next for Eva Lynn? Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months, 12 months? Like, we've heard what you've done in the past 12 months, but
Mm.
where are you going?
Oh, bomb. I love that question. I'm gonna utilize everything I've learned from Boa and expand my teaching business because it's something I love.
Passionate
But
about, yeah.
I don't have enough hours in the day to cater to everyone, so I'm gonna make an online platform. That's my
Let's
plan.
do it. Let's do it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, no, I'm
And
gonna have
also branding, sorry, also branding, like a brand page and things like that. I'm really
yeah.
excited for it.
I
Yeah.
love that. Eva, unfortunately, I literally enjoyed this call so much, but I have to go now.
No,
Do you
that's
have any last statements to say to the people watching?
Boa. So no, but
Oh,
I'm being.
God.
I actually don't want you to think I'm being like. I'm actually being for
I
real.
didn't pay her to say this. She didn't.
No, I'm
Okay,
being
well, yeah, cool.
for
Amazing.
real.
All right, have a good evening.
You too. Ta ta. Bye bye.
Bye.